40 is totally not some midlife crisis. It's like, it's the new 20.
I know that you recently turned 40 a couple months ago. Happy belated birthday. But how did
Thanks.
How did reaching that milestone birthday, how did that give you new perspective, if it did at all?
Well, it did. And thank you. I think that, turning one day older from 39 to 40, I think when you shift decades, I think it makes a difference on that one day.
Right.
I don't know if the in-betweens really do, but I definitely had that perspective. I was like, oh man, okay. Like there's so many great things in my life, but then I'm like, yeah, I'm single and I'm 40. I'm not sure what that says about me, but so I had like this moment, but then I also like was able to observe the fact that, I took an amazing vacation with like 10 of my best girlfriends and, we had a blast. And so, I have so many good things in my life. So 40, I guess I feel just more like we were talking about, just more comfortable in my skin. And like, there's so much life left. I'm going to live to 120. So 40 is totally not some midlife crisis. It's like, it's the new 20.
It totally is. I mean, what are you hoping happens within this next year?
Oh, goodness. Of course, like having amazing adventures. I think growing and having adventures is something foundational to me. But, if I find love in that year, that's great too.
Yeah, no, definitely. I think you recently said that you were looking for someone that you can stand the test of time with. Is that still what you're kind of looking for in a partner, or what are you looking for in a partner?
Yeah, I question that sort of foundational belief to some degree. It's like, if you grow and you attract partners that like show you parts of yourself where you want to grow, does that mean you grow out of them? But I recently did an interview for my podcast that hasn't come out yet. And he's a spiritual teacher. And he said there's plenty of lessons within one person if you're willing to grow with them. So of course, that's still my goal.
Yeah, no, definitely. And what have you learned from past relationships that you don't want in a partner?
Great question. I'm not sure. I was just talking about this earlier. I'm like, is my judgment the best? I don't know. But I think that you just have to follow your heart and trust your intuition. Yeah. I think that's something that increasingly over time, I'm doing a better job of. And so just trust that intuition. Look for, if there are red flags at the beginning, like trust that, don't just brush it off. I think those are the things that I'm beginning to realize are really critical. I have no doubt that it'll come along in its perfect timing.
That's so true. Is it hard to have a relationship in the public eye though, I would imagine?
Well, I think that it does to some degree. I think almost from it's from the outside looking in almost seems worse because, there's a tension and then there's pressure. Like, most people get to go through dating life without being looked at like you go on a million dates or you date multiple people. You just kind of see the one that they end up with. But when you're in the public eye, that's always out there. So I think that there is just a general pressure. And then also afterwards, you don't get to forget about them if they're famous too. So they're always still out there. So, so it can kind of make all the processes kind of drawn out and a little bit harder. But also, there's so many gifts with being popular and having, opportunities. So I choose to really look at the good.
Yeah, no, definitely. Are you the type of person that stays in touch with exes, or once that door closes, you're done?
I'm usually like, when that door closes, it's done. Yeah. I think in my age, I'm getting a little softer in that, but generally speaking, yeah, once it's done, it's done.
Summer is right around the corner. So what can you tell us about your summer plans?
Oh, gosh. Well, I feel like I have a new mini race schedule going on with doing 7 different races this year between the Indy 500 this weekend and NASCAR and Formula One. So that keeps me pretty busy. But I also love the summer and traveling and getting outside and all of that stuff. That's just... nature is something really important to me. So, traveling.
Yes, cannot wait. And how do you make sure that you stay healthy when you are always on the go?
Well, it's very important to me. I mean, everything that I've done post-career and even during my career has been oriented around health and wellness. So even if we're talking about like this morning coming on set to do this, like I pack my own food, and that's very common for me. I bring a cooler around a lot of times. And so Good Foods is a partner, and they are so good for little snacks on the go. They have individual avocados, buffalo dip, which is my favorite of theirs, tzatziki and all kinds of great stuff. So packing little things in a kit and being able to be healthy no matter where I go is something that I do all the time.
I love that. Do you have a favorite go-to summer snack?
I mean, chips and guac, I feel like is probably like the best snack. I don't even know if that can be just given to summertime. That's kind of just a year-round favorite.
I totally agree with you. And, you know, when you are snacking and when you're on the go, how do you make fitness a priority?
Well, the summer makes it so much easier. So being outside and just being active, I think, is an underrated physical challenge to try new sports or go whitewater rafting or hike a big mountain. But I always make it a priority, and, you know, bring your tennis shoes and you're pretty much good to go. But I'm also pretty good at making up workouts for like being in a hotel or somewhere else. So that stuff comes pretty naturally to me. But I think in the summer, it makes it easy to just get outside.